Should be. It's really
Yep.
very good. All right,
Yep.
let's see. So we are live. Let me see if I can grab our. All right. I need to grab our. This is awkward. All right, I gotta get this over to. I'll tweet it out, John.
Okay. Coach, I hope your dinner went well. I was just messing with you about the basketball thing, but it's one thing I'm proud about in my little coaching career so far.
Well, good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it went well. We just
as a mainly football coach, so I hope it went
yep.
well.
I actually, my first stint as a teacher coach, I was an assistant football coach, and I helped assist with the girls basketball team, and we were actually pretty good, so it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, hey guys out there in YouTube land, we are live here doing a reaction show, and boy, do we have a treat for y'all. We have William Penn head coach Todd Hafner here with us. He is an NAIA selection committee member. We are so thrilled to have him on the phone with us to talk about this new process, what went into it, how some of the decisions were made there. I know you folks from Dort are probably overjoyed. Those from Avila, unfortunately, not so much. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, and I'm super excited to be able to represent the NAI and the selection committee as part of this. I thought, the process went great, and we're very happy with the field of teams we got.
It's definitely a great field. Just from John and I watching the show. So just take us through real quick from a 30,000 foot view. How were these teams selected?
Well, this was the first year that we went to a selection committee instead of going straight off of the coaches poll. This process has kind of been put together or been ongoing for the last 3 or 4 weeks, where we would meet as an area rating committee, which there's 4 of those. We would combine that into a national ranking committee, and then we would send that on to the raters, and they would use that as a tool to rate the top 25 each and every week. And today was a little bit of a long day for all of us. We were Coach Camp out on the West Coast was up and bright and early at 6:30 this morning with the call, and we got the top rated, and then went from there, and so from about I think it was noon until about 2:30 or 3, we were together trying to get the matchups and put the teams in that needed to be in, and it was just it was a long day, but it was a great day, and a great day for NAIA football. We think we have a very good field, and the teams that are in are going to represent the NAIA very well.
Coach, I have a question for you, John. Here, first, just thank you for being here with us. And I understand, you guys have a very just tough process to do. And like we all know, the regular season is a playoff within itself. If you leave it up to the committee, I mean, that's kind of on your own fault per se. If you want an automatic bid, win your championship. But I have to ask, how tough were those conversations in there trying to fill those at-large bids?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I'm very, I feel very humbled that you would ask me to do this. But some of the conversations were extremely hard. Some of them lasted a very long time, and to get the final field probably took us, probably an hour. To get, once the automatics are in and things like that, there were 8. I think maybe even 9 teams that were possible at-larges, and we just went through their resumes, and we went through them with a fine-tooth comb to try and make sure we hit every detail about their offense, their defense, their good players, and it was a tough process, and we feel for the teams that that didn't get selected, but we feel very good about the teams that are in, and it was quite the process, as you said. But in the end, every member of that committee would say that it's well worth what it was today to make sure we got the right teams in the field, and we feel very good about that.
Coach, you were talking about the fact that y'all were creating a top 25 every week. That's something I definitely want to point out. That's a poll that is uh, uh, kept to yourself, separate from the coaches poll. So just wanted to point that out.
Well, let's clarify that just a
Okay,
little bit. So
please.
there were 4 different area ranking committees. So there, in one area they only talked and worked on these teams, and there were 4 of those. And then we would rank the top 8 teams in each area as a committee in and of itself, and then we would come together and discuss all of those area ratings to try and determine who should be in the top 25. And so that was quite the process in and of itself. It seems like you're on Zoom calls or conference calls quite a bit, but in the end, guys, listen, today was a long day, but everything leading up to today sure made today a little bit easier. And so every week we had the top 32 teams, and we wait. You wait for games to be played and who wins and who beats who, and where's their power rating go and things like that. So so it was quite the process, not just today, but even before that. And it made things for the ratings, the coaches' ratings poll a little bit easier, but it also made it easier for us today.
Coach, like we just talked about, that's a tough job what you guys did. Every process, no matter what you do, no matter what you do in life, always evolves to get better. And I thought the NAIA got better today with the selection process that they did. Is this here to stay?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, this is something that's here to stay. This wasn't just let's see how it works, because if it was a let's see how it works, we sure wouldn't have selected this year to do that. With the COVID and everything, teams playing in the fall and the spring and things like that, we probably would have waited. But this is something that was set in play by the NAIA. I think it made everything better. It made everything better in the end for sure. I think we got the right teams in, and it is definitely here to stay, and we're excited that everything went well today.
So let's get to a little bit of the nitty gritty here.
Yep.
We knew that Northwestern and the winner of Marion and St. Francis were likely at-large locks. But we had ourselves about 4 teams that we thought had a really good shot of going for those last 2 slots. What separated teams like Georgetown and Dort over the teams that just barely missed the cut, like Avila and Benedictine, and even maybe something like a College of Idaho
Or Roosevelt?
Or Roosevelt, right?
Well, I think if you look at Georgetown was also an at-large. Their overall body of work. Their only loss was to Lindsey Wilson in a game in which they actually had better stats than Lindsey did. That they got beat by a touchdown or something like that. But so their body of work pretty much in and of itself was somewhat easy for us. It was the Benedictines, the Avilas, the Dorts, even St. Francis of Indiana, College of Idaho. Those were where the conversations got in depth. And in the end, to be honest with you, Dort, they did have 2 losses, but their 2 losses came to the number 1 team in the country and the number 6 team in the country by a touchdown. Morningside had to make a goal line stand against Dort to win that game, and so we just, as a whole committee, just felt in the end that they were the most deserving, and therefore gave them the nod to be the 4th at large.
Coach, this is the last question from me, and I think Corey's going to get one more, and we're going to wrap it up. I know you're a busy man. You're probably really tired. So let me go ahead and ask. With the how. So most of our viewers just do not understand unless you played NAIA football or just around NAIA football. Just NAIA has just some adversities they have to face. I mean, it's not like major college football. With the matchups, can you just tell the viewers with like how much like travel implications fall in place? Like I thought it was super interesting that the Arizona Christian Kaiser game was together because one, whether whoever had to go to either or was going to have to travel a long ways. So you might as well at least get the one matchup where you get the flight in. Can you just give it like a little 20-second rundown about traveling with the playoffs?
You bet. And really, our job as a committee, obviously is to get the teams in the field. But our next job is to make sure that, we're trying to eliminate as many flights as we can, within reason. We would never play a 1-6 matchup in the first round or anything like that. But within reason, if we can eliminate flights for schools, we're going to try and do that. And by sending Arizona Christian to Kaiser, that eliminated a flight for Dort to go to Kaiser, I think. And so that's how the Grandview Dort matchup came into place. We're also fiscally responsible for the teams in the NAIA to do our best to make sure that teams don't fly unless it's an absolute must.
So my last question for you is one of the next round. I know in years past, the NAIA has done some reseeding, reshuffling, rematching up in order to try to eliminate those flights. Who is responsible for determining next round's matchups, or will they go against the bracket lines as was outlined tonight?
Well, what we'll try to do first and foremost is we'll try to go along the lines of the bracket. You always, as much as you can do 1-8, 2-7 in the next round, or as upsets occur, you always try and go right along those lines if you can. The same committee will get back together again, either Saturday night or early Sunday morning, to look at the matchups and do our best to do the same thing that we did for today. If we can get, straight seeding matchups, we'll for sure do that. If it comes down to saving a flight for somebody within reason, we'll do that also. So it's just one of those things that, again, it's a tough call for all of us, but, in the end, we are fiscally responsible to make sure that we're doing our best for every NAIA school that's playing in the playoffs.
Coach Todd Hafner, William Penn University, NAIA Selection Committee member. Coach, thanks for coming on the show tonight. It was an absolute blast to be able to talk about the process and the thought behind it with you. Thrilled to be able to do this. I think this is, you said this was the future of the selections, and I think it's a really great way to get the best playoff possible.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure we're going to get some criticism for some of the teams we got in and things like that, and rightly so. We completely understand that. That's part of what we're doing. In the end, we're just trying to make the football playoff field as good and as competitive as we can. Unfortunately, there's always a team that's going to feel like they should have been in that didn't get in, and we completely understand that. We're sorry for that, but it is our duty to try and do the best we can. So we appreciate you guys and what you guys are doing so much. You'll never know. So I'm completely humbled that you have me on here, and would love to come on the show anytime you guys will have me.
Absolutely, Coach. We look forward to it.
Coach, we're excited to see your team in the fall as well. We love that triple option. But
thank you very much.
We're
looking to get better. I think we're going to be a better football team next year if it goes like the spring's going right now.
Absolutely, Coach. We are looking forward to it. But you go get some rest, enjoy some time with your family, and we'll be speaking to you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Have
a great night.
See you, Coach.
You too.
You bet.
Hey, guys. This has never been done before for NAIA football. The fact that we got transparency right there. Honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't have apologized I would have been like Conor McGregor. I apologized to absolutely nobody. In my mind, and I wanted to do the predictions of how it would work. I had Avila in. Let's go ahead and just get them out of the way. I had Avila in. I thought your body of work was great. They defeated the back-to-back KCAC champions. The Bethel, who they shared the championship with, they lost a head-to-head, very competitive in that game. And I thought many teams got the benefit of the doubt for a quality loss. Honestly, I think if Bethel would have romped over Kansas Wesleyan and not lost Kansas Wesleyan, I think Avila would have got a more closer look. But that Southwestern winning their last game, yesterday, I thought was really going to help Avila make it in. If you're an Avila fan, KCAC fan, what you really have to do is hope that your conference adds another team. A lot of teams are getting rewarded due to just having multiple divisions. For instance, Mid-South always going to get 3 teams in because they have 3 divisions. If the KCAC makes it to 12 teams, you're automatically getting 2 in because of the automatic qualifier. You look at the team in Lakeland, Florida, Southeastern. Their only loss was to a top 5 team by 3 points, and we're not going to spend much time on them.
Yeah.
But first thing, if you want in the playoffs, there's 12 spots. There's the regular season is a playoff within the playoff. Win your conference, no discussions about it. But I do, like I said, I do feel for Avila. I wouldn't have been like Coach Hafner there and apologize. He was being very empathetic, which is awesome. Because he has kids too that he could be in that position. I understand that completely. But I feel for Avila. I thought especially because Avila's been building towards this.
Yeah.
They remind me a lot of Olivet Nazarene. I would love to see Avila maybe if a Victory Bowl was possible. I doubt we're going to get one in the spring. But that would be, and I don't know if they're NCCAA members. But I would love to see Avila get one more game in. And then you got Roosevelt as well, who lost to Olivet Nazarene. They're a very good ball club in their first year. And then Benedictine did what they were supposed to do yesterday by destroying Hastings. But the bottom line is you cannot leave it in committee members' hands. You just cannot do that. You just got to take care of your destiny. But like I said, those teams we just talked about, especially Avila, very deserving. But let's go ahead and get on about the field.
Let's talk some matchups here. This is going to be really fun. Our first one here is Carroll traveling to Morningside. Morningside, obviously, the reigning back-to-back champs, has not been beat since, I believe, St. Francis did it.
Yeah, so they're on like a huge winning streak. If I had to guess, they're on like a 38-game winning streak right now.
Some odd. The thing that really surprised me when I was putting the slideshow together this afternoon, I used, for a lot of these top teams, I used the same slide, except for changing out the logo for the helmet, that I did last year, the same format. That total defense for Morningside slid hard in 2020.
Absolutely. Their offense is still top-notch. They have probably the best skill players in the NAIA, and that's what carries them through. But, the past 2 Morningsides don't have a close game with Dort, which Dort's way well improved. Please don't attack me, Defender fans. But, Morningside's defense is not the same as usual. I still think they're great enough to be a 3-peat champion. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be too many teams in their way, but it's outside of the top, probably 5 teams.
Yeah.
Arnage Ponder, with a limited season, he's still close to that 1,000-yard mark. Joe Dolenchek, he's been absolutely unbelievable. If you haven't watched this kid, he is absolutely accurate. One of the best live videos I've ever taken of NAIA football is him nailing a 50-yard receiver in stride at Grambling Stadium last year. Really eager to see if that defense can really prep up. And, they had a scrimmage against that D2 school in Minnesota. I'm no D2 expert. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, right. And they're a top D2 school. So Morningside's going to be prepared. Carroll, funny thing about Carroll, Corey, and we're in the group chat with our media members that vote for the poll. And, everybody was a little iffy on Carroll, but they put themselves in a position to be here. Going from unranked to having a chance, I don't see the Carroll Saints having much luck against Morningside in this first round of the playoffs. It helps that they're coming off a lot more games than Morningside is. I mean, 4 straight games pretty much. Morningside really hasn't had a real game since the fall.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to have much luck.
Yeah, that Carroll defense was good enough for the Frontier. The real question is going to be, is that going to be good enough for Morningside? For our second matchup, we have Grandview versus Dort. This is going to be, like we said on Thursday, a matchup that could very well be a low-scoring affair. Grandview boasts the #1 total defense. Dort actually boasts the #1 total offense. So you get strength on strength there. Both of these teams are top 15 in each category.
And Dort fans, we promise one day we will update that helmet. You got sweet lids. What I'm really eager to see with Grandview is how their front 7 matches up with that Dort offensive line. If you've been able to watch Dort, they've been able to give Noah Clayberg some time to be successful, even though they get the ball out fast out of his hands. But I'm eager to see how that front 7 matches up because I think they're going to try to pressure Dort, into making some mistakes.
Yeah, that RPO offense from Dort, we'll see. I think that Joe Woodley's linebackers are likely going to be well disciplined enough to kind of read and react the way that they should. Johnny Sullivan for Grandview. We talked about Dolanchuk being efficient. Sullivan, 21 touchdowns, 4 picks on a 66% completion percentage. But how is Grandview going to account for the extra blocker? Noah Clayberg ran for over 1,000 yards from the quarterback position.
The GPAC, had some quarterbacks that can move. Dort and Northwestern both do. That's why I think it's so key of that front 7.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think if Grandview's going to make a run, this is the time to do it. And Coach Woodley over there in his second year, he's only had 1 loss, right, in his 2 years. Was the Morningside.
That checks out.
So, and NAIA, please save Grandview and Morningside for the championship game if they make it that far.
So the third matchup here, Lindsey Wilson, Bethel. Man.
We just got a comment from it in the chat, about Bethel having the neutralizer of the triple option going against Lindsey. But what's funny is Lindsey, even though it's not the level Bethel's been running at, Lindsey's seen the triple option
They
this
have
year.
Cumberland.
So that works to Lindsey's advantage. They have the prep for it. And, everybody, the thing about the triple is you're wanting to be efficient. There's nothing like crazy about it. I know everybody has their own little tags and stuff, but it's assignment football, and that works in Lindsey's favor. They saw it. But, Bethel, who was their last game against Kansas Wesleyan?
Yes.
Who's coming off a loss. We'll see if they can get over that.
Now, here's the thing about it for Lindsey Wilson. That Cumberland game, Lindsey started really, really slow.
Right.
Cumberland was in that game far longer than Cumberland should have been.
I've noticed Lindsey Wilson hasn't been doing so many design quarterback runs as they have in the past.
I can't imagine that we would have anything to do with that.
Well, not us, but I imagine, and I don't think they're saving anything for the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. They want to know what they can and can't do. But I'm eager to see if they can run that base offense well, what they want to do, and what kind of specialities they want to get out of it. What special prep they have. Lindsey's been able to kill teams out west, historically, just getting their guys out in space.
Yeah, Bethel, their linebacker, Josh Seabolt, is one of the few guys that I've seen that actually broke the century mark in tackles this year.
Right.
And 20 of those were tackles for loss. That's going to be your matchup there. Is he going to be able to get in Cam Duke's face?
Right.
And how does the Lindsey Wilson offense respond? Dukes is a senior. He should be able to read and react.
Yeah, in the NAIA right now, you have 1A, Joe Dolanchuk, and 1B, Cameron Dukes.
And then 1C, Tyson Coyman.
Yeah, Coyman. Yeah, correct.
So our next matchup, man, I have a bunch of folks in West Palm Beach who are excited as heck to see the thicker kicker.
That guy went viral everywhere. people would pay more attention to NAIA football after that.
Yep.
But that was awesome to see him nail that huge kick. Arizona Christians kind of like they haven't been here, really. These kids on their roster have not been here.
They have not.
In the playoffs. Whereas Kaiser got they're in their third season, got playoff experience from last year. A veteran quarterback in Eli Matthews. Can he be efficient to lead Kaiser through? I think they get this round 1 win.
I really think for Kaiser, the big deal is going to be getting their 3-headed monster rolling. I only put 1 running back here.
Right.
They've got 3 who can get it done.
It's running back by committee by those guys with Coach Socha.
And you get a different skill set with each one. Will Arizona Christian be able to hold up for 4 quarters? With Western Dickinson State, we get a rematch.
Ooh, yeah, 2 years ago, Dickinson State, if you didn't know, defeated Northwestern in the playoffs. And, Northwestern has a lot of veteran guys.
Mm-hmm.
Both these teams do have veteran guys that have been in the playoffs before. Northwestern, I don't think, has gotten a win in the playoffs in a long time.
At least not in the last 2 years.
Yeah, last 2 years they've been first-round exits. And we've been waiting to see if they can find Morningside again in the playoffs. And, they're getting inching closer to Morningside as far as those regular season games go. But they have to get through Dickinson State, who has an amazing defense out there in the North Star. They are the cream of the crop. The conference doesn't get as much respect as it should. But, Dickinson's no stranger to getting a playoff win.
Yeah, at Northwestern, at that.
Yeah.
Koima and Solberg are your main connection there for Northwestern. 1,288 yards is nothing to sneeze at in a season in which you only have 9 games. Koima's great on the ground as well. Dickinson State,
he can move.
Oh, yeah.
He can move. He's got wheels.
By time, yeah. Drew Bodecker for Dickinson State was a really nice addition for them.
Right.
Coming in, they lost their quarterback last year. He graduated. Bodecker stepped right in, and with the combination at receiver of Jared Lee here with 825 yards and Tiger Fry, who had 700 some odd, that's a heck of a great complement of receivers there. Will Northwestern's defensive backs be able to stop Tiger Fry and Jared Lee? That's the question.
Absolutely. I have Northwestern winning this game.
Hey, we'll do picks at the end.
Yeah, okay, I'll save
we'll do
it.
some
Hey,
picks at the
before we get to the next game, go ahead and slide it over.
Yep.
But we got some holographic stickers, guys, 5x5, great quality. They almost look like decals.
Well, crap, let me actually show them now.
If I run out of holographic stickers, if for some reason I just have this crazy rush on Patreon, we have some white stickers left. Guys, if you want to support us, we're sending Corey to the national championship game next month. I can't go. I'm a football coach in Florida that has spring practice. But I just left the link in the YouTube comments. Just consider it $1. DM us, and free shipping will get you your own little NAIF ball holographic sticker. And before we do that, we also run CFB Home. We have 5th quarter contributors. We do pay a certain amount, 5 cents per follower. Each Twitter follower you gain on our accounts. And if you are interested in working for us, DM the CFB Home Twitter account.
Yep, that's great. You get to work for us. I mean,
Yeah,
I
there-
can't imagine that there's
best
any-
bosses
I
ever.
know, right? So you want to talk about rematches? You want to talk about rematches? We've got Reinhardt Marion here. Reinhardt took a whipping last year against Marion in Indianapolis.
Right, and Reinhardt was so one-dimensional last year. They're better this year,
Much
better. Eager to see if Reinhardt. They're going to have to pass the ball at least a little bit to beat Marion.
They are.
I mean, you saw the Franciscan Bowl yesterday where Marion was up big on USF, and they let them kind of squeeze back in the game and had a little chance. But I mean, then Marion. What's so impressive about Marion is if they really want to control the clock, they go 2 tight ends and pound it. I'm interested to see if they can do that against Reinhardt.
Johnny William passed Krishan Hogan in that game
Right.
for most touchdowns in most receiving touchdowns in Marion history. Reinhardt's passing attack with Billy Hall has made some great
The
strides.
fact that he's 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is
Oh man,
unbelievable.
those
That's crazy.
stats last year were
And
not
they
bad.
don't ask him to do much, not much in the vertical passing game, but they want to get that ball out.
That's gonna be one of the most fun matchups we'll see. And then let's see, we have Baker, Olivet, Nazarene, the gold standard.
Yeah, I'm on record. They're the best team in the mid-states, and I'll get made fun of it through the traditionalist of Marion and St. Francis fans, but that's just is what it is. I love how those kids came together, and you can see it in their play. They're all blocking for each other. They're gang tackling. Really great. Baker, they're really interesting. They got walloped in the playoffs last year to Kansas Wesleyan.
They did.
You know, it seems like they're a little different team. They're really run-heavy oriented. Offense stalls a little bit in these big games. But, like, can we see Baker make a run? They're no stranger as a program to the national championship game.
Yep.
But Olivet Nazarene, they've been in the postseason the past 2 years, but not in the playoffs with Victory Bowl wins. And, can Olivet Nazarene put together? We heard all through the fall that they were going to have a special team, and here they are. And can they make a run?
Yeah, it's a really balanced attack. It was hard to choose which offensive skill player to put up there. I went with Ajay Grayson with his 551 yards. They've got a couple of great receivers. Graziano is one of them.
Right.
I remember his name off of that great play of the week play
Right.
that we had, where, like you said, his teammates are blocking for him. You know,
And can Baker? It seems like all of it's starting to utilize that RPO a little bit more later in the season. Can Baker stop that RPO? Number 2 defense in all the nation. Can they stop it?
that's going to be good. 2 versus 6 in total defense. And then our last matchup, we need to talk about this one a little bit, and because it's a little weird. Concordia being the number 5 team and traveling to Georgetown.
We got in the comments that maybe with the COVID situation happening in Michigan,
Yeah.
that they probably wouldn't sponsor that playoff game. If you didn't know, it costs $30,000 to host the NAIA playoff game, and I'm sure Georgetown, who has amazing NAIA facilities. If you didn't know, Georgetown's right by Cincinnati, Ohio. I heard something about one of the governors of Kentucky, or one of the governors either Kentucky or Michigan had something to do with this.
Probably Michigan.
Michigan. So, Georgetown has a great opportunity here.
Yeah. If you're Georgetown, you've been able to be in close games with some of the best in the nation, with Lindsey Wilson. Like Coach Hafner said, you were there with Lindsey until the final horn was sounded there. Concordia's offense really, it's a little disappointing. I had to actually go looking because it wouldn't even show it on the DAC Stats team stat page.
Really?
Because it was less than 50th.
Wow.
They are 59th in total offense by yards gained. Peter Morrison has less than a 50% completion percentage.
Right, their defense has really kept them undefeated all year, and they have the body of work. And rarely do you see a team beat St. Francis and Marion in the same season. Not only that, they had to get past Indiana and Wesleyan, but then on the flip side, Concordia, went to overtime with Taylor.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 1-4 Taylor. And, me and a USF fan went back and forth with it yesterday about trying to say that Taylor was a good football team, which, they stick around, but they've only scored 3 first half points all year.
So the question here is, will Georgetown be enough on defense to keep Concordia down? And will they be enough on offense to get enough points to eke out a win? That's the question here. So with that, let's do some picking, and I'll throw these back up here for us to look at here. Carroll at Morningside.
Definitely Morningside, and College Idaho burnt me last week with Carroll, and I guess Carroll burnt me with upsetting College Idaho, but I do mean it this week. I think Morningside embarrasses Carroll.
Yeah, I think Morningside wins this one.
I don't think it's close.
The Morningside coaching staff has known they've been a playoff team a lot for a while now. you know good and well that this
38
season,
game winning streak.
you know that this season the coaching staff has thought about how they're going to keep their kids fresh.
All right.
This is not their first rodeo. I'm taking Morningside. Carol, if you want more respect for the Frontier, you've got to make this a close game for Morningside. But I do see Morningside.
Do you want to
winning
put
this
the
going
slide
away.
up or no?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put the slide up. Yeah, I see Morningside winning this going away.
Absolutely.
Grandview Dort.
I think Dort gives them a close-ish game. But I have Grandview winning. I've been with Grandview all year.
Yep.
They've got 2 first-place votes in our media poll.
And that's us too.
Yeah, that's us too. Okay,
That's
I
us
didn't
too.
know you were the other guy, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
What Coach Woodley's done over there is nothing short of amazing. And what Dort's accomplished this year is awesome. But they're still looking for that solidifying win. Yes, you deserve to be here, Dort. You took Morningside, who is on that 38-game winning streak or whatever it is, to the limit. To you basically Balboa Creed round 1. But I just don't think you have enough to get past Grandview.
I'm gonna pick Grandview, and it's the defense. That defense at home
That front 7, man.
is
And
gonna
Johnny
do it.
Sullivan, we've been keeping up with him since he took over last year.
Yep, and he was hurt last
And
year.
he was
in the
hurt
playoffs.
last year. And I really think Grandview has something to prove.
Here's the thing: if you're Dort, you should be insanely proud of what your team and your coaching staff have done
Right.
in the limited amount of time that y'all have been in the NAIA, and consider this to be a seasoning experience. Take it in, enjoy it.
But I would be pissed about what you're saying too, or what I'm saying as well.
I would be too.
Don't just go roll. We don't expect Dort to go roll over to
No,
Grandview just because
of
they're
course not.
Grandview. Big bad Grandview.
Play
But
hard.
Play hard, but yeah, I'm definitely going with the Vikings.
It's definitely an experience that grows a team like Dort.
Absolutely.
It's great for the program. Lindsey Wilson Bethel.
Oh man, this is a tough one.
I know we're both sitting here going, oh.
Lindsey Wilson's been very sloppy to start games out.
Yeah.
But then they show how superior they are throughout the second, third, and fourth quarter. Georgetown, or not Georgetown, who did Lindsey play yesterday? It's skipping my mind. This past Friday.
Oh shoot. Was it Pikeville? No, who was it?
Maybe they didn't play.
They did.
But anyways, it was Bethel. It was the Wildcats.
Oh, you're right.
It's
It
Bethel
sure was.
Wildcats. And, they came out sloppy. I was watching that game at the weightlifting regional meet I was at on my phone. And, I think it was like 7-0 going into the second quarter. And, Bethel Wildcats, they're much improved from Coach Jasper's first year. But, just the difference of where the programs are now, Lindsey should have had that game taken away a lot earlier. But, against a triple option team that's going to limit the time that you have, limit the possessions, I think Lindsey Wilson still wins this by at least 14 points. But I think Bethel's going to make them look sloppier than they have all season.
Yeah, I definitely think that Bethel is it's a great wake-up call for Lindsey. It's a great first game to have because you know what you're getting. If you're Coach Oliver, you can point to these 60-point games that Bethel has put up,
Right.
and really tell your defense, y'all gotta step up.
And Lindsey Wilson had all they could handle from the KCAC champion last year.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, they beat them by 2 possessions, but Kansas Wesleyan was able to do some things against them. So really eager to see this game. I'm going with Lindsey.
Yeah, I'm going with Lindsey.
At least 14 points.
I'm going with Lindsey. I think it's close, and I don't think I'd want to be a Lindsey Wilson player come Sunday.
No, absolutely not.
Kaiser, Arizona Christian.
I'm going with Kaiser just straight off the bat.
Yep.
I like what Arizona Christian's done, but I don't think the competition out there in the Sooner is, up to par to what Kaiser maybe has been facing with Southeastern.
Yeah, it was a really wonky year for the Sooner this year. Not sure what was happening in that conference. Look for the defense of Kaiser to just make Arizona Christian's number 12 total offense deflate. That Kaiser defense has been absolutely crazy nuts this year, and with Sims and Meisinger and the rest of the
three-horse
backfield,
stable, yeah,
that limits your possessions as well.
and Kaiser has elite defensive backs.
Sage
I don't
Chin
know-
Young.
Yeah, Sage Chin Young's probably my favorite NAIA player since I've started covering NAIA football.
He's
Either him or Connor Niles, Morningside 2 years
Niles
ago.
was crazy.
But we just got a comment from Roger Meyer in the YouTube chat. Which, guys, I'm John Cooper in the YouTube chat. But he talked about if Carroll for some reason canceled for COVID. I know COVID's been an issue in the frontier. I would love to see Avila get that call and say, "Let's go." But I think Avila should be that next team. I would hope they'd backfill that spot instead of giving somebody a first round bye.
It would be a really interesting, and if we had more time with Coach, I know he had a long day.
Yeah,
today.
we should have asked that question.
That would have been a really good question.
Right. I'm going to
ask.
say they probably wouldn't, just because of preparation.
I would think that if they were going to backfill,
but they might, because it's $30,000 to host a game.
I think if they were to backfill, they would be more likely to do it with College of Idaho than they would.
And this is hypothetical, guys. This is hypothetical. Roger brought it up. Just using like if somebody did cancel because of COVID.
Yeah, or Eastern Oregon, they would pick one of the two frontier teams that were co-champs rather than fill from somewhere.
Yeah, totally hypothetical.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
Just using Carroll as an example.
Yep. But they might do like the NCAA tournament and just say chalk.
Right. So who'd you have winning this game?
Oh, Kaiser.
Kaiser as well for me.
Yeah, this one's going away. Sorry, Arizona Christian. This Kaiser team.
Great year, you're Sooner champs, but I mean,
that Kaiser team's absurd. I've seen them in person. They're crazy.
Right.
Oh man, John, are we picking Northwestern to get upset again?
This is probably one of the tougher games to pick. I'm going to go with Northwestern getting over that hump, but I think it's a really close game. Dickinson State, some scrappers. I just can't go against Northwestern this year. They look different than usual. They look different.
Okay, so here's my thing, Northwestern fans. I'm about to pull some Sunshine Scooter magic luck on you. So get ready for this logic. Last 2 years, I've picked Northwestern to win that first game. They've lost both. I'm gonna rock with Dickinson State. So maybe some of my luck in this matchup can rub off on Northwestern.
Okay. So I don't think you can go wrong either way here, but I'm going Northwestern. I think Tyson Kuma,
Koima is great.
Koima, excuse me, takes them the distance here. I do too. He only gets so many chances left here.
This is his senior year.
This is it. This could possibly be it.
This is his and Solberg's senior year.
I don't know how the rollover is going for NAIA, if they're letting everybody come back or not.
Even so,
it's hard to pay for school.
It is.
So this might be your last game.
Yeah. So I think Northwestern wins it. I'm picking Dickinson State so that I can go in. So that my luck can go the other way. Maybe Northwestern can win one. I skipped one. Reinhardt Marion.
All right, this is by far the toughest matchup to pick.
I don't know by far. There's some good ones.
Right. I'm going with Reinhardt here, and I think they set the tone. I think Reinhardt is the more. This is tough to say. I think Reinhardt is the more physical team.
Ooh, someone gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be
mad at you.
And I have the most respect for Marion, just for their program, what they run. They've been big winners in the past, and usually when these big games come up, they don't shy away. So even though Reinhardt is the higher seed, this would be an upset to me. Once you take all the historical data, once you take what's happened recently between these two, then Marion, really separating themselves from USF, who's also bit Reinhardt. This is an upset pick that I'm picking. Some people would say I'm crazy to back Reinhardt, but I think they're the more physical team. Our friend Roger's not going to like that I said that.
No, he's
Roger,
not.
please go easy on me.
So here's the thing. Last year, the game was in Indianapolis. It was cold. It was rainy. It sucked to be either of these two teams out here unless you are a crazy offensive lineman like John Cooper to my left. This year, you're playing it in Waleska, Georgia.
Yeah.
You're playing it at Reinhardt with a team that feels really good about itself and has developed a passing game that they really have needed. I think Reinhardt's defense keeps Frankie Young and Johnny William in check. I think it's a close one, but I think Reinhardt comes out victorious on this one.
I think Billy Hall is going to have to be efficient with the short to intermediate passing like he's been all year. Faulkner and Kentucky Christian, which are, to me, they deserve to be top 25 teams on the tail end of the poll.
Yep.
Reinhardt absolutely dominated them, whereas, Marion's had some problems this year with some lesser teams. It's a tough one, but I'm going with Reinhardt.
Yeah, same here. Baker, Olivet, Nazarene. This is a fun.
Give me Olivet Nazarene.
Yep.
I got them making a little run here.
Yep.
I like Olivet Nazarene. Baker. Baker's similar to Marion. Their program's no stranger to the big games.
100%.
But I don't know about Baker outside the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Mid-States consistently put out great football teams. I know I picked against the Mid-State team just this past one, but I've been rolling with all of it all year long.
A team that plays for each other is a team that's going to do well, and everybody plays for each other. Everybody says that they're brothers, but watching it out on the field for all of it has really felt like it's been almost another
When your
level.
skill guys are blocking like their skill guys block for each other, you got something special going on.
I'm rocking with the gold standard here. I think Olivet Nazarene gets it, and they get to the next round. I've been blown away. Look, all of it was my dark horse pick. Was both of our dark horse picks.
Absolutely.
To win the Midwest, we knew they had this in them.
We heard about all fall.
Yep.
Heard about all fall how special these groups of guys were, and here's the time to prove it. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised whoever wins these playoff games, but I got all of it definitely in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking all of it. And then in our last matchup, we've got Georgetown Concordia.
All right, Corey. So 12 seed versus the 5th seed. Concordia, like we said, has done something no one really does. They beat USF. They beat Marion.
First time in school history.
First time in school history. They're still a young program, very young program. Georgetown has multiple national championships. Their program dates way back when. But I have Georgetown who can light up the box score. I have them winning, and I have them winning, edging out Concordia just a little bit. I think Concordia's offense lets them down here. Doesn't do enough.
John, tell me. In the NCAA tournament basketball,
right?
What's your upset pick every single year? You're going to get one or two. It's your 5-12.
Right, 5-12.
It's your 5-12. I'm picking the 12-5 upset here.
Yeah.
Look, it does not help that Concordia is not getting to play at home.
And what's funny is Georgetown was on the verge of not being in this altogether.
Yeah.
Now they have a chance. And, traditionally, Mid-State teams crush Mid-South teams. And like I said, the two upsets I'm picking are Mid-State teams against Mid-States. Mid-South teams against Mid-States. And, I haven't been impressed with Concordia's offense all year. Defense is great enough to win a national championship. I don't think that offense is, going to make a run at all.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Coach Cronin's boys here. There's just too much firepower for Concordia to be able to contain. Guys, we are absolutely stoked. Look, if you were on our Twitter live before this, where we were cutting up and carrying on, this is our favorite time of year. We were going bat crap crazy over here.
Yeah, in the fall it kind of sucked, especially when we didn't know like the playoffs would happen. The D2 and D3 playoffs were canceled. The FCS football. Respect to those guys, but those coaches have kind of been a little bit of pansies with pulling starters out for the fall. NAIA, you don't have that. You want to win.
Yep.
You want to win. You don't care if it's in the parking lot. You don't care if it's in the grocery store. You're going to win. NAIA football is for men. So
absolutely.
You don't pull starters.
I am stoked for these games on Saturday. Looking forward to it. We will have a viewing guide coming out to tell you when these games are going to be played, so that you can have your 17 devices out in front of you. You can watch every one of these things at the same time. Please don't play these all at the same time.
Hey,
please don't do that.
Give us a subscribe to us on YouTube, guys. We would love to use this platform more.
Yep.
We're the only guys in history to have a media platform for NAIA football. I'm not trying to pander, but give us some support. Brace us up a little bit. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button, to hit the subscription. If you want we're going to have some merch coming out, some NAIA merch, but we have stickers readily available for Patreon members. $1 Skip Allen to McDonald's cheeseburger once this week. Let's see how far we can take this. And it's just great for the sport. When I was a kid playing NAIA football, we didn't have this. Like when we watched our selection show in 2013, literally 8 years ago, I didn't really even have a clue about the league I played in as well as I do now. I wish I did. Like most kids today that are playing NAIA football are very well educated about what's going on, and I'd like to credit that not to just us, but there's great guys that are covering NAIA baseball, lacrosse, basketball. Just kids are making smart decisions about trying to get in these schools that NAIA schools cost a lot, but if you make the grades, it's totally worth the experience and affordable. But give us some support, and we will see you guys soon enough.
Absolutely.
So
have a good night.
Signing off, guys. Take care.
One thing that is great